What's up, guys? Welcome to Keto Rewind. I'm Jess, and I have a great recipe for you today. I did a teaser in my week 62 update, but this recipe is tried and true. Um, First things first, keto donuts. Yes, keto donuts, and this is the first time I've felt that this recipe tastes like what it should be, or the real version or something, even though it's so much better for you. So, um, I stumbled across this YouTube channel. It's African Keto Diet. Love her. I've just been binge watching her. So totally thank you for creating this recipe. And go check her out and say Keto Rewind sent you. And next thing is, if you're new to keto, don't make this recipe. This is a recipe that after you've gained control over your diet, you know your limits, unless this is just for a special occasion. But I just wanted to say, for me, even as an experienced ketoer, it was hard to just have one. Like, I wanted the whole tray. They're delicious. So it can become a slippery slope if you take these on too soon in your journey. So, but know that as you continue on in your keto journey, know that a real good replacement is available. So don't feel like you're gonna miss out on a cake donut. Yeah, speaking of what type of donut, this is more like a cake donut texture. You can go as creative as you want with the toppings, but I'm gonna give you the basic cake recipe and my 3 variations that I did. I did a powdered sugar top, and that's basically you just take Lakanto powdered sweetener or Swerve powdered sweetener or a powdered keto sweetener of your choice and just sprinkle it over the top. Then it becomes powdered. The next thing is I melted some Lily's chocolate with little coconut oil, dipped it in so they were like chocolate glazed. And then the last version was just a traditional glaze with powdered Lakanto and almond milk. And that was more like just you dip it in and just like a glazed cake donut. So that's my 3 versions. I can think of so many other great versions to do for like flavoring, like maple and bacon, like cinnamon sugar, all that kinds of things. So blueberries, the variations of this recipe is endless. So you make which one, like it'd be so easy to throw in chocolate chips or a berry or, just have fun with it. But this will be the big base recipe and you can add on to it. So anyways, let's get into making this delicious keto donut. There's the recipe and all of the ingredients you'll need. It's pretty basic. The psyllium husk is going to give it that sticky wheat type texture. I used coconut oil to fry them in. This one's odorless, tasteless. You can use avocado oil as well. I would not fry them in anything else other than those 2 oils. There's a cup of coconut flour, a cup of almond flour, and a half teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. And I ended up doing 2 tablespoons of Lakanto sweetener, but you can use any sweetener of your choice. And then that's a tablespoon of baking powder and 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk powder. And then obviously the recipe's gonna be down below. You're gonna mix all your dry ingredients together so everything's nice and incorporated. Smash out those lumps. I probably should have sifted it, but it turned out fine. So I have 3 egg whites and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream to that, and I'm going to mix that all up together so that it's just nice and incorporated before I add it back into my dry ingredients mixture. And pour it right back in there, and I used the fork to get it going, and then it's going to, before you add the next ingredient, water, I just got it mixed around, incorporated, but you're going to take 1.5 cups and you add it in slowly of boiling or super hot water. So I did about a half cup of it at a time and let it get incorporated. And that's when it's going to come together really nicely to a nice stable dough that resembles what you would expect a dough to feel like. So I just gradually kept adding the water till all 1.5 cups were incorporated, and you can add more. My mom stuck her finger in just to feel it. It's slightly sticky, but it's not sticky enough that it's going to stay on your hands. But, you know, you can add a little bit more if you wanted. So knead it like you would knead a regular dough. Get it all good and incorporated. And the next steps is when it's going to get fun. So I did this two ways. First, I just divided it to 12 pieces. Her recipe does, I think, 6 or 7, but I just wanted them smaller, so I went with 12. So I flattened them out like cookies, and then I took a medicine cup and punched the hole out of the middle so it'd be nice and clean. And then I played around with it to see what was the easiest way to do it. I'm not a baker. But the main thing is you want it to be nice and smooth, and you want it to hold together and stay that donut shape. So that was the way I found was easiest for me. But you can also take that same dough and roll it out kind of like a snake and wrap it around a medicine cup, that same medicine cup, and connect the end. So I'll show you, let me fast forward to the end here and show you another option. So I'm just rolling it out like that so it's nice and long and flat and smooth. And then just to make the center the same size, I'm going to take that same medicine cup and wrap it around the cup and connect the ends. And you could be the judge. Which way do you like better? It took a little getting used to, practice with it. And then I wanted donut holes, so I kept all the little centers, and we're going to make donut holes with those. But there's the snake rollout method of the donut. It was a little puffier. I don't know. It's tough to decide, but either way, pick whichever works best for you. Now, I had the coconut oil at 325 degrees. I have no idea what temperature to fry stuff at, so I just went with 325. And it was at like a level 4 on my stove. My stove is gas, so FYI. But it stayed nice and hot, and it didn't burn the donuts. You don't want your oil to get too hot. So, but anyways, you put your donuts in there, flip them around, and when they get nice and golden brown, that's about the indicator when they're done. You can see as they're fresh in there, they kind of sink to the bottom and gradually float to the top. So just a FYI. And there is a finished donut. Look at that. How freaking gorgeous. And then obviously I just switched to my tools here, but the little strainer, I don't know what you even call those things, but it helped drain the oil off. This is a bowl that I just sprinkled cinnamon and sugar, like powdered swerve, with some cinnamon. And I rolled those in there kind of like they would do at a restaurant. So those were cinnamon and sugar. And they were really yummy. And there's kind of like the finished products. But look at that. Cinnamon and sugar. And obviously it's the keto sugar. And then my mom being a perfectionist, I like to just dunk. She's type A. Likes it much neater than I do. She's all about the presentation. But you do you. But there they are, dipped in just a Lakanto sweetener with a little almond milk and vanilla. That's what the glaze that we got. There's a lot of different glazes. You can add butter to that. Here's a chocolate version. It's Lily's chocolate chips melted with a little bit of coconut oil, just so it gets it nice and smooth. And you just dunk and dip. That one's really easy. And you can go dark chocolate or the milk chocolate with Lily's. And then that was pretty much how easy it was to, you could have them without any topping at all. But that was what we did. And, the next batch we'll experiment with different toppings. But look at that delicious donut. And when you pull them apart, they pull apart just like a traditional cake donut. And there is a finished product picture. We mixed one of the glazes at the end just for fun, just what we had with leftovers. But I cannot even express how legit these keto donuts are. You've totally got to try this recipe. And plus it gives me like this one thing to look forward to. If my kids have a birthday party or something, I can make donuts now. So that's awesome. And if you want to know what to do with the leftover oil, I have that little strainer cup that fits in a mason jar. I just poured the leftover oil once it was cooled. I labeled my lid, and I'm going to reuse that oil. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Enjoy. I bet you're gonna go off and make them right now. I mean, I cannot stress it enough. They are so good. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Jess, and you're watching Keto Rewind. And don't forget, go check out the recipe link down below.